Hello Barmy Badger Army and welcome to another Off the Bench. While Nick's not about during the summer, I thought we'd do some solo benching and I'm going to call it Off the Bench, as I'm sure you've guessed. If you haven't seen the last Off the Bench, I think you should check it out because it was fun. It was a bit rough around the edges because it was our first ever one, but I think we got there. And a big thank you to everyone that joined the premiere. You know who you are, bang bang. You're awesome. Thank you very much. Today, we're going to talk about the fact that an archaeologist broke a 1,000-year-old egg. We're going to talk about Dino Fury, the new Power Rangers series. We're going to talk about Fear Street 1994. We're going to do some bacon jerky reviews, and we're going to do some Connect 4 nostalgia. So yes, apparently a few weeks ago, I've only just caught up with this story. A few weeks ago, an archaeologist found a 1,000-year-old egg, and can you imagine what that would entail for modern life and being able to decide and find out what's inside this egg and how it would map the future and the past. Perhaps we'd end up with a big dinosaur ride akin to Jurassic Park. Joking aside, it would be really interesting to find out and unlock the secrets of the past and see exactly what happened. And apparently it was found in like a pit, and it was very frail. I mean, it is an egg, but apparently they broke it. Can you imagine? So it's like a 1,000-year-old egg, potentially loads and loads of answers to the past here, and then they broke it. Oh, can you imagine the shame? Can you imagine being that person, the person that broke a 1,000-year-old egg? It's in your CV. Found a 1,000-year-old egg, but I broke it. Oh, the pain. But yeah, can you imagine how pants that would be? Breaking it and you're thinking, oh yeah, this is going to be great. This is my claim to fame. This is going to put me on the map as a full-time, awesome archaeologist. I mean, world-renowned. And then you break it. Oh! But yeah, it's terrible. But yeah, apparently they managed to salvage some of the egg, that was on a tiny bit of the shell, and they're able to analyse it. So I do hope that they'll be able to analyse it and find some really interesting secrets to the past. And if I get an update on that story, I'll share it with you, because it's very interesting when you hear about all these different things to do with the past. And that's the one thing, is a human mystery, isn't it? Like, we don't really know what happened with the dinosaurs or anything like that. Not really. We've had a good few educated guesses and we've found some evidence, but there's no concrete proof of what exactly happened, and there's no concrete proof of like where everything started and things like that. But that is for another story. But there's lots of connotations and all that sort of stuff. But it's very interesting to see what you guys think about dinosaurs, evolution and all that sort of stuff. So hit me up in the comments with that. It's very interesting to hear what you guys think about all that stuff. I have my own views and we'll talk about it during the premiere. It's very interesting stuff. But yeah, I'm looking forward to hearing what you think. But yeah, it's going to be really interesting to see what this egg comes up with and how evidence that comes up with and how that sort of might change our views on the past. I'm looking forward to it and I hope they talk more about it. Right, next we're going to talk about Dino Fury, which recently premiered on Netflix. Now, obviously, we've seen the last series of Power Rangers, Beast Morphers, which was potentially going to be absolutely awesome, and it had a really interesting storyline, but they overloaded it with a load of old waffle and they ruined it, basically. They turned it into a 25-minute last 5 minutes of He-Man. Where just like it was bogged down with moral messages constantly. It really was. There was hardly any fight scenes. There was, inexplicable goings on with robots that had DNA and then were brothers. There was weird and wacky things where moral messages were put in, taken away, put in again. There was random relationships. You had the geeky scientist with the hot, cool, blonde ranger that just didn't fit and felt weird when you watched it. There was all these sorts of random things. It was just a hot pile of rubbish. And it could have been awesome, but it was pants. So, Dino Fury. Hell yes. Dino Fury is awesome compared to that. There is some sort of little messages in there and about, looking after your friends and being kind and, always trying to do the right thing. But it's not forced down your neck. There's plenty of comedy, there's plenty of action, there's a great storyline, and of course there's some really good acting. And there's a silly robot in there, yeah, but it doesn't feel forced. With Beast Morphers, there was the comedy aspect of the robot and stuff like that, but it felt forced. And even the two sidekicks that were meant to be like this season's Bulk and Skull felt forced in. It literally felt like someone dug a hole and chucked them in. With, Dino Fury, it at least feels natural. It feels like a proper Power Ranger series. The writing's on point, the directing's on point, the action scenes are fun, the costumes are great, and of course, there is the female ranger at the start that's the Green Ranger, which is awesome, who has a skirt on, and then she goes whoop, like that, gets rid of the skirt and reveals just the normal ranger costume, and I think that's fantastic. So there's a way to do these messages of like empowerment and doing the right thing and knowing when to do the wrong thing for the right reason, and how to be friends with everyone, and sometimes you have to lose to win to help people, and all this sort of thing. Those messages are there, but they're done in a better way. They don't feel forced, and the action is badass. So I do recommend watching Dino Fury. Don't watch Beast Morphers. That's a mistake that me and Voice Legend, or I should say Voice Parodies, made, and it should have been awesome, but it was a big pile of old poop. So do not check out Beast Morphers. Check out Dino Fury. First half of that is on Netflix at the moment. If you're an old school Power Rangers fan, I think it works and it's good. Right, now today I have recently watched Fear Street 1994, and I think it was fantastic. Some of the things in there you think, wow, is this for teenagers? But yeah, it's by R.L. Stein, and of Goosebumps, and of course Fear Street and other fame, and he finds horror funny apparently. Now this is a mad cat adventure. It starts off in the 90s with plenty of nostalgia, plenty of fun, and you think, oh yeah, there's a girl who's working, stereotypically in a mall on her own, and with like the one guy there who's in the other deadbeat shop, and they're chatting away and having a bit of a laugh. And all of a sudden, the killer comes in, and you think, wow, okay, has he been killed by the killer? But then the big twist is that he is the killer at the start. And you think, wow, okay, this is mad. And then all these different things happen. There's loads of killings. There's some witchcraft there. I'm not going to spoil it for you because I really think you should watch it. But trust me, it reminds me of a 90s horror. And I couldn't believe I was watching something directed for like teens, because some of the gore in there is a bit, wow, okay. There's drug references, there's saucy references, and there's plenty of gore. So I think, what? How is this made for teens? And I will not be in a rush to let Badger Jr. watch it. I'll tell you that now. Because watching that bread slicer kill was a bit, oh, okay, this is gross. So yeah, I wouldn't recommend early teens watch it, but probably 14, 15 up, maybe, if they've got a strong stomach, because wow, it was pretty on the mark, I tell you. But it was fun, and it was enjoyable, and the acting was great, And there's a lot of interesting things there. There's a lot of references to like popular culture in the 90s, which helped it spur along. And I think that was nice because obviously there's no point setting something in the 90s without the references. There was tons of great music for one. It felt like you were listening to like a really good soundtrack. And the way they did it as well, there was a particular scene when the characters are walking through a hallway, and the particular different music really resonated with their mood. So whoever did the music for these films is on point, well done, because the way they flick it and the way they changed it really made you remember the songs, really gave you nostalgia for the songs, and really put you in the mood to watch the film. And of course, there was plenty of gore and fun and comedy and romance and witchcraft and weirdness, and you didn't quite know where the film was going to go at some points. So I definitely think it's great. Stereotypical fun horror with lots of twists and lots of modern fun things in it, and I can't wait to see the next one. I haven't seen part 2 yet, so no spoilers in the comments. Right, okay, next we're going to do a review of some beef, or I should say bacon jerky. Yeah, let's have a look. The boss has had some. It wasn't really her thing, so let's have a little look. Right, so that's what it looks like there. Look at that, tasty. Oh, wow. Okay, look at that. Right, what I'm tasting is like really strong, so it's like streaky bacon. So streaky bacon's quite salty, but it feels like there's a bit of pepper there, a bit of like, what can I say, seasoning. It feels like you can taste some smoke, some paprika there. It's really nice, and the way they've done it is really tasty, and even the bits of the rind and stuff taste nice, and you can tell it's like really thin because you can near enough see through it through the light, and it's totally delicious. One thing I will say is, obviously it is like, like crispy bacon but soft. So that can be quite confusing, but it reminds me of like a Parma ham, but a lot stronger. So it's nice. It's a really nice jerky. I'd recommend it. It's a limited edition one. I picked it up for £2 from Aldi actually. So it's not, even though it's a limited edition, I thought it was quite a good price. So marinated, air-dried strips of bacon. Bacon jerky, the world's most succulent, delicious one, yeah. Bacon, pork, leg, preservatives, red bell pepper powder, onion powder. Yeah, I didn't quite catch the onion powder, but that's what, yeast extract, apple cider vinegar. That's the tang. Ooh, okay. Thyme, chili powder, smoke flavouring, preservative, potassium sobonate, and sunflower oil. Ooh, delicious. So yeah, this is well worth it. So yeah, this is really tasty. Our specially selected soft and succulent bacon jerky is made using a British pork. It's perfect for snacking and those that love delicious bacon. Absolutely full of flavour, selected by our experts. So yeah, do check any allergic reactions and things like that. But yeah, it is really delicious. Tender and succulent, really delicious as well. And good for an after gym or after exercise snack if you wanted to do that, because it's quite tasty. Oh. Num num num. So I would say, it's quite tasty. If you love bacon and all that sort of stuff and meat, you'll love it. And I would say, I'm not going to give it an IGN 7. I'm going to give it an 8 because it is delicious. And there's plenty in the packet as well. There's quite a lot. The boss ate quite a bit, really. And I would say it was quite tasty, yeah. Definitely a good quality bacon there, and a good score for that. And a really fun little snack if you wanted something quick. Now, next I'm going to show you guys Connect 4. I don't know if you've ever played this game, but this is a ultimate classic and a Badger family favourite. Now this is my mum's friend's old copy. She's no longer with us, bless her, but she was a lovely auntie to me. You know, I don't know if you guys have ever had that sort of thing where your mum's friend was like really close to the family, so you called them auntie. But yeah, this lady was really close to me, and you know, it's really nice to actually have this back, actually. So, you know, but that's another story. Don't get me all teary. But yeah, this was really nice. It was really nice to have a little slice of my childhood, and this brings back a lot of memories, playing around my auntie's house and watching Nightmare, eating biscuits, and, you know, generally going swimming and all these different fun little day trips, and obviously spending time when it was raining, you know, playing board games. Now, let's have a little look at the thing, because, you know, this didn't have an actual instruction sheet. It was all printed on the back of the box, which, you know, back then was uncommon. But if you think nowadays, they should do that more anyway, because they're trying to save on paper and stuff. So this was forward before the time. So he goes, Connect 4, a game for 2 players. Connect 4 is absorbing and challenging game of vertical strategy. It's easy to learn and fun to play. The rules are simple. Each player tries to build a row of 4 player pieces in the frame, horizontally, vertically, or diagonally, while players prevent his or her opponent from doing the same. Sounds easy, but it's not. The vertical play of this game requires the player to think ahead. Yes, indeed it does. And it's a very good little strategy building game there, and it gives you a nice little diagram of how to fix it up and all the different things there. Look at that, that's brilliant. And of course, look at that little diagram there. It's quite easy when you think about it. I did have a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Connect 4, but it broke. Yeah. So this particular one was 1975, I believe. So that might have been when it first came out. I'm not too sure. If you know more about Connect 4 than me, let me know. But yeah, so this had a good 5 years of playing before I was even born, which is insane, isn't it? So that is so interesting, the amount of things that you think about. Now, I don't know about you guys, but everyone's got those board games that have been passed down from generation to generation. So it looks like that had a good 5 years worth of playing before I even come along. Probably started playing it myself about 1985. So it had a good 10 years worth of playing before I even played it. And now I played it for a good few years with my mum and my auntie and that. And now I'm playing it in the 2000s with Badger Jr. And I think that's really nice, isn't it? And this is, look at this. The only damage for something that's over 45 years old is the fact that this little bit is off. And trust me, you can play it fine even without that bit, because the other connectors are working fine. Yeah, so what happens is they sort of slot in here. I don't know if you've ever played it, but yeah, they sort of go in there likes. It's a bit awkward doing it like this, but you get what I mean. So they sort of split in like that. And they fit in quite nicely, and then you drop the different things in the hole, which is very interesting. I'll give you a bit of an example. Let's hope that the shutter's done, yeah. So you would put it in like that. And then obviously your opponent would try to block you or try and place it in like that. And I think it's mad. It is like what you'd call something that maybe is quite simple, but a really fun game. So yeah, that's a bit of nostalgia for you there, guys, and all that sort of thing. I really hope you enjoyed today's show. Tell me about some of your favourite board games in the comments, and let me know if there's anything that you've played for donkey's years that you've got an old copy of that you've never got rid of, and you're sort of broken away from the throwaway culture by keeping a particular board game or book or toy because it's given you loads of memories? Let me know in the comments, and I hope you enjoyed today's premiere, and I'll see you next time. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe, Barmy Badger Jr. Army, and I'll see you soon. And a big shout out to all you guys, thanks very much, and a big shout out to Badger Jr. and a big shout out to all of you guys. A big thank you for all the love. You guys are epic. Thank you very much for enjoying the show, and hopefully we can have a good old chat about all the different things in the show today. Hit me up in the comments after the premiere, or of course if you're watching live, let's have a good old discussion. Thanks very much everyone, see you later, bye.